What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning to another episode of Right on Cue Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Logan Chestnut with Small Batch Barbecue. Joining me tonight for the first time, long time, Mr. Justin Turner from the Norella Barbecue team. And then I got the best from the West, Mr. Rusty MONSON has graced us with his presence from Salt City Barbecue and also host of the new podcast, On the Road, a food truck podcast. What's up, ladies?
Chilling, man. Just had my matcha tea and ready to talk some barbecue. I don't know if that works out very well, but that's how I do it.
Matcha tea? What kind of tea?
Matcha basically tea. Green tea, but it's like
for hipsters.
Yeah, it's for hipsters. It's green tea. It's green tea. It's just green tea, but it's for hipsters.
It's like is that the kissing cussing of kombucha?
Yeah. I drink kombucha like water.
Do you really?
No, I don't.
Oh.
But you got to live up to that, I got to be able to have that hipster persona, and that's what we do. We bathe in it.
We bathe in kombucha.
We do,
and just I eat kale fresh out the barbecue, turn in boxes. That's what I do.
Right?
No, man, Justin, how's it going, man? You got finally got a night off from the baby mama. And,
yeah.
A little reprieve from the baby.
Oh yeah. She runs the show, that's for sure.
Well, I'm glad you're just now figuring it out. No, man. As soon as you told me y'all were pregnant, I was like, and he's gone. There you go. It's over. It's over. Rusty, man. Moving on to you, buddy. How's things in the food truck world? You taking over the great state of Utah, one pork sandwich at a time?
Yeah, man, it's been pretty crazy. We started out small and now we're getting pretty big. So we're starting to hit our stride right now. So things are getting pretty crazy, working all the time. I remember I used to work a lot, in the restaurant business. And I thought, man, working 12-hour days, 5 to 6 days a week, that's a lot of work. And now I'm just like, man, I remember that part-time job. That was great, so
40-hour a week jobs. I mean, that's just part-time, right?
Oh yeah, dude. I'm no joke, man. 40 hours. People are like, oh man, I had 2 hours overtime. I'm like, what? I did that I'm there on Wednesday, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm at 42 hours. Get out of here. Go home.
But you're the owner though, man. It is when you own something, dude. There is no like overtime or stuff like that. This is like getting stuff done.
Yeah, it is. And I'm trying to get to the point where we're getting pretty busy. So we're trying to get a handle on things. It's like a rodeo, just kind of running that 8 seconds a little bit right now. Mm-hmm. And right now I own a job. I'm looking to own a business soon and step back and really run that thing. But right now we're just we're just riding, just hoping we can stay on for a half minute and then get everything settled down and maybe I can step back a little bit and enjoy my life again.
That's a great saying right there. You own a job and when you want to own a business. I mean, I feel like that's everybody when you first start something up. It's like, all right, sweet, I get to work for free and have my employees, make more than I do starting off usually.
Oh yeah. 100%. 100%. I'm like, can you guys borrow me $20? I need to get a combo meal. I need something. I need to eat.
I don't eat. You keep like a chub of bologna in the freezer just for like the Rusty's bad weeks. This is what I'm eating.
No, Quaker oats, man. Just hoping you can just like get a little gruel every once in a while.
Oh man, well, that's awesome, dude. Oh yeah, dude, that's awesome, man. And your new food truck pod is awesome. I've been following that religiously and excited for some new episodes coming up, I'm sure.
Yeah, we're gonna get back on that. I am. It's been, like I said, summer really hit us right in the face, and so I'm trying to recover from that a little bit and get some ground back, and then I can get back to it. But I have a lot of cool guests coming up on it. I'm really excited about it. That's my therapy time. That's when I can steal everyone's good ideas. And, this winter, my hope is I'll just record a whole bunch of episodes just constantly because I'll have more time and then just have enough in the bag just to,
stack them.
Yeah,
exactly. Well, hey, this is my therapy time. And thank you for joining us. It's a group therapy session tonight. And we'll try to work our way through this.
Cool, man.
All right, man. We got our guest tonight. You guys may have heard of him. If you haven't, move under that rock you've been living under. He's the newest world champion. He's joined the World Championship crew. And yeah, man, he's the infamous Mr. Drew Davis from Razorracks Barbecue. Let's bring Mr. Drew on, shall we? What is up, brother? What's up, brother? Sweet. Gotta get the money on the big screen. Fine, I get to go back in my corner.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for having me on.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. Man, so how's it been going, man? Now that, like I said, the newly crowned world champion, what trophy did you get? I know you got the one from Cotton Gin.
Yeah. So that's the main trophy, I guess you'd say, just a square chimney, and it's got the KCBS logo, KCBS World Invitation Champion, got the Cotton Gin logo on it. It's pretty freaking sweet. It's all stainless steel and shines like a pearl.
You can use it.
That baseball barbecue company that came out, they were a big sponsor.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
They got us a wooden home plate with the KCBS logo on it, and then some other of their little utensils they have. So trophy wise, that and that big check.
I would take the check.
Yeah. Check's most important.
It's that trophy. The trophy, I know. Well, it's what, for the KCBS World Invitation, it's a nice trophy and it's a wonderful competition, but the trophy compared to some of the other majors has a little left to be desired.
Yeah, and I think KCBS is still trying to get their footing in. This is a new world championship. It's a new a big contest. I'd call it like a minor major, maybe, or a mid major.
A mid major. There you go.
Yeah, I don't think it has still I'm not going to hide away from the world champion title by any means, but.
No, wear that on your sleeve. Like, you got to update your shirts now.
Yeah.
World champion Razorracks.
Up against the American Royal, Memphis May, Houston, the Jack. I think those are still the big four majors, and everything else is just a little bit below it. But, there was 100+ teams there that wanted it, and a lot of others that wanted to be there.
Yeah, man, it's a great contest. When I was there, I wanted to win it so badly.
Yeah.
And we really put all we could into that contest. We were all business. And when it came down to awards, nothing. Looked at our little sheet and, man, we're like flipping through the page on chicken. All right, where are we at? Okay. 101. Cool. Like, was that last place chicken? Fantastic. Let's go to ribs. Oh, wow. 80th. This is great. Or I don't want to see it.
I remember my first time going to the Royal. I had big aspirations, and at contests, anytime you get over 50 teams, especially 50 quality teams, you've got to have luck on your side, as well as cooking good food. Like, you can't win it without good food, but you've got to have some luck on your side too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's majors like that, especially with the quality of teams that showed up for that. It like. What was there? There's 14 over 700s.
I want to say 19.
19, like that's
19. I think they called the top 19 on day 2, and we only got I think a 12th chicken and an 8th in pork, and so I'm sitting there hoping we're in like 11 to 15, 10 to 15 range. And after they got to 10, I started to really kind of question, like, okay, I guess we're maybe we're a 695 today, something like that. Because I knew we had pretty good food. And then when I got down, they called all the teams that I kind of expected them to call. That's when really started to think, could it happen? And
boom.
Yeah. Boom. I still don't really remember them calling our name. I just remember kind of embracing my wife, giving her a kiss, and then people just started embracing us, and it was everything I'd ever hoped it'd be.
Yeah, man. It was the that hurricane that came through.
Yeah.
I think it was just gave you the good luck, man.
Yeah.
No, I want to call it Hurricane John Calipari. Just washed all my dreams away. carried everything down
I guess that might be something we don't need to talk about tonight.
Oh no, I love drama. Drama's nice. Bunch of Coach Steeler. I'm messing it. Although it's gonna make beating y'all this year so much sweeter. Yeah. But no, man. So that's awesome. So tell me, like, what equipment are you working with?
So I'm bouncing back and forth right now between a Jambo and Gateway drums. I won't say I started on gateways, but I kind of cut my teeth on gateways. My first GC came on those. And then I got really tired of cleaning 3 of them every week and moved to a Old Hickory, had some good success with that. And then I really got tired of hauling that trailer around and finally made a decision to buy a Jambo. And once I got that, I cooked on it since probably 2019 up until last year. I started cooking on drums again. So just kind of going full circle, trying to keep myself fresh and not get too bored and monotonous cooking on the same thing, 20 plus times a year.
I got you. Yeah, you seem like you like to mix things up.
Yeah.
I've cooked one on everything.
Yeah, I've cooked 200 plus contests. So like on that Jambo, I know almost precisely when things are going to be done, and it got to where I felt like a robot. And when it gets to drums, you're actually cooking. Your face is in that drum, your hands are in that drum. Things aren't done exactly the same time because of just the way those cook. But to me, that's more fun, a little more exciting, brought some of the flair back to it, and really kind of refueled my fire. I
got you, man. Rusty, like you said you cooked on a CTO, right? Or Old Hickory?
I cook on Old Hickory for the business. I cook on Gateway drums. Well, 3 of my meats are on Gateways. The other one's on a GMG. I do chicken on GMG.
That's so fun. So, Drew, what do you like? All right, so we talked about some of our guests about different grills have different grills do better on different proteins. I would say, some are equal, but some do. But for can, do you feel like chicken on the can is something that gives a leg up for that grill flavor, or do you think Jambo puts out just as good too?
I'd say the way I like to describe it is both of those are great cookers. A stick burner, whether if it's a Jambo or Outlaw or whatever knockoff there are, you're going to have great, consistent, high quality food. I think a drum in all categories gives you just the slightest of edges. I kind of explain it as a Jambo has a higher floor, almost as high of a ceiling, where drums, they have a higher ceiling and maybe a little lower floor. Like you can screw things up on a drum real fast. It's really hard for me to screw things up on a stick burner. But that drum flavor, that uniqueness, I think the judges still just ever so slightly like it better. So if you can get a home run with a drum, I think you're better off pretty much anywhere in the country compared to any other cooker.
Rusty's, to light that up in Utah, they like the drum flavor up there. I'm sure Drew would like some notes up there.
I would like to know that.
It's an elevation game up here, man. That's going to be your biggest problem. I didn't realize it was a big deal until I went to California and I lit my pit, and it took 20 minutes to get to temperature instead of 45. I'm like, what? That's cool. That was so fast, and everything's so much hotter. And then we went to Colorado, where we're at 9,600 feet in the air, and everything took so much longer to light. My brisket finished at 196.
Yep.
And it took a lot longer to get there, and it was weird, man. It's an elevation game, really, when it comes to Utah. And I think that's where we have an advantage, is because when people come here, they have to deal with unknown elements, because a lot of people don't consider it because they don't have to. And so when they come up to this place, we know how to cook on our level.
Yeah,
they just get all messed up, and so it's nice.
What elevation are you at in Salt Lake City?
4,300 on average.
Okay, so I live at 350, I think. Like 350.
Right.
Last year I drove out to Frisco, Colorado, and cooked. Like it was always kind of now going into the future, I'm going to try to pick out a destination place to go to every year, and that was my destination last year. And I think we were cooking at roughly 10,000 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could see the tree line up in the mountaintops. I mean, we were up there, and I struggled. I started early in preparation, and I didn't start early enough. Chicken, I cooked for 30 minutes longer than normal. But again, it was fun. It was, I had to push things. I had to, improvise on the fly, and looking forward to doing that again in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's different up here. A lot of people in this area watch the videos of all the Texan folk and everyone else at 300 or below wrapping in butcher paper, for their backyard cooks and stuff. I'm like, not up here, bro.
Yeah,
we got to use tinfoil, but that's not how Mad Scientist does it. I'm like, yeah, but he's not at 4,500 feet in the air. So, we have to get a little bit more moisture into things here. It's more important for us.
Well, like I said, man, y'all live in that damn near desert out there. You gotta, I don't think you can probably spray enough, can you?
No. And that's another thing that you bring up that's really important is because we are a desert arid place, and there's not a lot of moisture in the air. So you got to create as much as you can. So there's no such thing as spritzing too much here. And that's, and that's what a lot of people think is that if they cook in a certain area, just because Brad Leiniger does it that way in Missouri doesn't mean you can do it that way in Idaho, and it's just it's a whole different thing when it comes to moisture because we lose moisture faster here.
I mean, Brad can spit on it and keep it moist. I mean, that's all he has to do. He just
say that he came out and whooped my ass one year. So I almost got him in Casper though. I actually did kind of get him in Casper, but that was it.
I think Brad's kicked about everybody's ass.
Yeah, I beat him in chicken. That's my greatest moment of all. That's it. Could have retired. I got one place higher. Like I win. That's all I need. Peace. See you, barbecue world. I'm out.
I sat next to Brad at the Invitational there in Lebanon, and he got a couple calls that day, and he looked about as excited as if like I got a free Happy Meal. He's like, oh, okay, cool.
Oh, I won again. The thing with Brad is he sits in the very back, like he's not going to win every damn thing, and everyone has to watch.
He can roll. That's what he does. He's like, all right, deuces.
Guess I'm just gonna walk. He just walks forever. I'm like, just sit up front, man. Just sit right next to the award ceremony. We just stand up, grab your stuff, and sit down.
Yeah. Drew, how'd you like this? So last year was, or this year, I guess, whatever. It was the first year I got to cook the Invitational. You've cooked, I'm sure, a few of them. What you think of the location wise? I mean, for you, I'm sure it was an awesome drive because it wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's about the same distance as Kansas City for me. I think last year where they had it was a little west or northwest of Kansas City. So Lebanon was a little closer, but still a good haul. I mean, that's kind of subjective. Those East Coast teams, like a 10-hour drive's a good haul, and Texas teams the same. But for me, about 6 hours is a good haul. But the layout's great. It's flat. It's county fairgrounds. There's plenty of space. There's plenty of room inside for the judging. And, if things would have got haywire with that storm, we could have had the awards inside as well. And the people that kind of help coordinate that, Jason Cole and Eric Cantrell, they really lay out the red carpet for you there. I've heard that they have already decided to do it again next year, Memorial Day weekend, same place.
Yeah, they're following the way of the SEC, and I think they're just going to host it in Nashville for the next 3 years. I think, or two or 3 years. But no, you at least where you were, it was dry. Like Justin was with me over there. We were on the little putt. We had the little concrete pad, and it was literally Lake KCBS. Like we had Justin's partner AJ. He literally went out and bought a squeegee, and we were squeegeeing the concrete because I know my wife was coming. I was like, "There's no way in hell that she's going to come hang out with me at the trailer if we literally had 3 inches of water standing underneath it."
Yeah,
I was like, it was ridiculous. So we spent half the time cooking, and then when we weren't cooking, we were squeegeeing the pad. Like I'm thinking when I'm doing, I'm like, my wife would not do this for me. This is. She'd be like, throw on your waders and get out of here. Let's go.
But at this question that just came in, I think is an interesting one because I think the drum, what makes it special is I think we kind of got away from charcoal, and I think that's what everyone grew up on. So I think it's like, it's so reminiscent of, when we grew up, we didn't have these fancy ass lumps, and these Rockwoods of the world. We grew up on Royal Oak and Kingsford. And so it was difficult. So I guess the question is, what do you use in your drums and when you're doing it? What's your bet?
I'm straight lump, pretty much 100% lump, and it's the red bag of Royal Oak.
Do you run straight charcoal for all your proteins? Did you have some wood chunks in there?
I straight charcoal.
Really?
Which that charcoal is wood, so
yeah.
I don't think you're getting really any difference by adding in fresh wood. So I'm straight charcoal. Now my offset, my Jambo is a different story. I'm running pecan in there and a little bit of hickory.
Does that make a difference? Because I mean, you're running straight, pretty much charcoal in your.
I use some briquettes in my my offset to just kind of keep a big fire base, a good big coal base. So and as that dies down, I'm just straight wood at that point and basically turning wood into charcoal.
I got you, man. So you're going out to Utah, and you're gonna Rusty. You got the cans clean. You got to knock the cobwebs off.
No, this is my day off, man. This is what I'm doing with you guys.
Yeah,
I mean, you got a world champion touching those things, man. We got.
I know. I told Drew, I'm like, listen, man, if you're gonna come get these things, you're gonna have to clean them because
I'm more than happy.
I haven't seen them. I don't even know what they look like anymore.
I was just so tickled to finally get something. I was just glad to have something to cook on out there. My biggest nightmare was going to be flying out there and having to cook on somebody's backyard pit or something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I could help out. I mean, we got the drums and stuff, but I'm just telling you, dude, I don't know. I mean, I think what was the last competition we did? It was 2 years ago. We GC'd the thing, and I was just like, set them in the garage, and
mic drop.
That's it. That was the last one.
GC juice in them.
What's that?
They got a little more GC juice in them.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. Well, that's what I was trying to say. Is like it's got that GC juju in it. So you just hold on to it. Probably also known as like carcinogenic, like death too. So don't breathe it in too much, And I think someone might, die because if you don't clean them out, there's got to be something growing in there.
Oh yeah.
But hey, they're all yours, man.
Yeah.
I mean, and you know what? If you don't want to bring them back clean, that's fine. Just bring them back the same way I gave them to you.
little cleaner and a car wash, and I'll have those things.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, they're great. They're so easy to clean. That's the best part about them. They're super simple. So,
but Rusty, you only need to clean one, man, because Drew. That's all I heard. Rumors that's all Drew needs to win the GC Juju is just one can.
Yeah,
that's the infamous Drew Davis story. It's like Bert Kreischer and the Machine. Drew Davis, just one can.
Yeah. So I've been spotted out with that a couple times, and it's always still kind of humbling to talk about that. But that was a one and done. I'll never cook another contest on one drum. I don't see any need to. I'm glad it went down the way it did.
Yeah. Well, now it's infamous now. Before, when you were doing it, it's like, oh, he's stupid. But now that you won it, you're like, everybody's like, holy shit, how do you do this?
The look on like
we're having a conversation
and everyone else at that contest, I think they called me for second place in pork and first place in brisket, and then people realized, oh, did he just do that? And it was day one of a double, and I wasn't cooking day two, so I literally got to drop the mic and drive off with one can in the back of my truck and a canopy. But,
dude, we are not worthy. Dude, that is so impressive. Like, all right, so we were talking about this before you came on, and I gotta ask, like, what was your timeline for the one can day?
I think
I'm trying to figure it out in my head. I'm like, how in the hell did he do this?
I think I started about 3:30, and I got the brisket on probably about 4:00. My goal was to have brisket and pork done before I put ribs on or before I got chicken on. But I know I had all four proteins on there at one time for probably about a 15-minute window. Then pork probably got done, then brisket got done shortly thereafter. But I was pretty cramped for space, but I cooked the bare minimum. I think I cooked 8 thighs and probably 2 racks of ribs and 3 pork collars and 1 brisket flat.
That's just
yeah.
That's all you need, Justin. That's all we need.
It is all you need, but I mean,
just one can.
I encourage everyone to try it. It was fun. Again, just trying to get out of the monotony. But
the monotony.
I don't think I could
replicate. I'm tired of winning on 4. I gotta challenge myself. Just like the Larry Bird story. He's like, I'm only playing this game with my left hand. I'm only going to cook this comp with 1 can. That's what you got to do next year when you come back to the invitational. Just like 1 can. That's all I need.
Half can, dude. Just cut off one side.
People have been saying get that go-to drum and try that, but
do the 30-gallon, 30-gallon drum challenge.
No, screw that, dude. It's Drew Davis we're talking about here. You use the solo stove, and I will bring it. I will bring the solo stove. I will buy it and let you keep it if you can win on the solo stove. I always thought about that. Like, I guess you could technically use like a Santa Maria grill style.
Yes.
At these comps, it's charcoal based.
Yeah, man, I can't imagine how long it take you to get a brisket done on one of those.
Well, if anybody can do it, Drew, I think you can.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. Or you can do it. Yeah, I mean, I've heard about the one drum thing. I had to go to Montana with 2, and It was, dude. It was the worst. I'll never do it again. So now we bring 8. So just in case one goes down,
back up in case something.
Yeah, we got kind of U-Haul. Bring all 8. You know.
Rusty, when was the last time you did a KCBS, man? You hit it hot and heavy for a while, and then you.
That was 2 years ago. But it was 2 years ago because the one contest we've won every time we went, and it's coming up this weekend, and we're not going. So maybe it was a year ago. No, it could not have been a year ago. So no, it's been 2 years. So maybe not. So it's been 2 years since I've done a contest, and I want to so very badly. And I was going to actually do this one this weekend, to defend the title, but 3 of my employees decided they want to go to California for a family reunion, so I was not able to do it. But I want to get back into it pretty bad. I was thinking about, which one are you going to, Drew?
Blackfoot, Idaho.
Blackfoot, okay.
Yeah. I think it's about 2.5 hours north of you.
There's one in Casper, Wyoming that I love. I love that contest, and so I might try to get to that one. But yeah, it's been a while, man. It's been some time. I don't even know what chicken thighs are anymore. You guys say collar, right? I'm like, oh, you young guys saying things, like, look at you. I don't even know what things are.
How do you say pecan? How do you say pecan tree?
Pecan, man.
Pecan.
Ooh, that's different.
It's pecan.
Oh, Drew,
it's pecan. It's pecan. Pecan. That's how you say it.
What was it? Who was it that said Josh? He said pecan. I'm like, stop that. We're not talking about the pecans.
Yeah, dude. No one. You don't call it pecan. It's
the dumbest thing that like bothers me.
Oh, pecan. Oh, me
pecan.
That drives me bonkers. You just don't say it. You don't say in polite society. You don't go into a church like saying the F word. I go around saying pecan.
Yeah,
that's like store bought. I mean, you don't do that to chickens. No, so Drew, man, how long have you been cooking? I'm probably gonna say 2 years. Break my heart.
Oh no, I've been around for a while. Probably 2000. Trying to remember, I was in grad school when I did my first contest. That'd probably been
2014,
2012-ish.
12.
Yeah, I did one contest, did 5 the next year. Bounced around between probably 10 and 15 for a couple of years before doing 20 plus for seems like the last 6-7 years.
I got you, man. Dude, we have actually Razorracks. So your team said 2013 is when you started up. No, so Rusty, I think this is the first podcast I actually didn't do. Speaking of which, how did you get your start? I failed it as a podcast host. I didn't ask the first question that you always ask on a podcast host. Where's Razorrack and how did you get started?
So we're based up in north central Arkansas in a little town called Pleasant Plains, about an hour and a half west of Memphis, hour and 15 minutes north of Little Rock. If you draw those 2 lines, you're going to be pretty close to where we're at. Always kind of cooked ever since I moved out. Got a buddy that we always tailgated together for Razorback games. And when learned about these barbecue contests, another friend in grad school, he asked me to come help him with one. And when I realized you could be competitive in cooking, I kind of went hook, line, and sinker. I asked him to let me team up with him and do a contest in South Arkansas, and we did that. And then him and his brother kind of formed a team for a while. And then I went back to the buddy I tailgated with. I said, hey, there's this sport out there that we got to try. And we ran for a couple of years, and then he kind of life took him away from the sport for a while. And then it's been me and my wife ever since. And now we got this little 4-year-old girl that we bring around, and she keeps us one eye on her and one eye on the cookers.
That is, I'm so happy you called it a sport. So that means I'm an athlete once
again.
Exactly.
We're all athletes.
We are athletes. We are food athletes.
You guys are not freaking athletes. Come on. You wake up, you put shit on a drum, and you go. That's just, come on.
No, Rusty, what you do during every day, that's practice. What we do, man, that's the big game.
Real thing. That's the game. We're talking about a game.
Practice. You talking about practice?
Okay, whatever keeps you guys going, you just keep doing that. I like it. It's great.
Hey Rusty, how hard was it to walk away? I mean, I know you have got the new business, a food truck, and you probably had to, but how hard was it?
It was really easy to get paid to do barbecue, so it was really easy to walk away just because of the distraction. But over time, as that settles and becomes more mundane, that feeling to want to compete really creeps back, and the FOMO's hella real, man. When I see all you guys posting about your wins and your competitions, I'm like, man, I could just smell it. I just love everything about it. And it's getting to me now, man. It was easy to forget about it, easy to walk away from it. Now it's not very easy to stay away at this point.
Because I know those weekends I'm not competing. About 3:00 on a Saturday, I kind of start scratching and itching. Like, man, I wonder what awards are in some random city in Kansas are doing right now.
Yeah, I just sit back. What I do at home at night is I'll sit back and watch awards like 5:00 on our, usually on our time 6:00, and I'll just pretend like I'm sitting there, and then whoever wins, I just block out their face on the phone, and I pretend like I won, and I get up and really, Salt City? Oh, you guys are so great.
me. Who's the big people out your way, Rusty? Like, who is the top dog? Like up north, it's the Wolf's Revenge. Out our way, it's everybody.
Right.
I mean, it really is. It's you can't go to a single contest in our area without hitting nothing but heavy hitters, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
But is it the Montana Outlaws? Is that the guys that kind of kill in that area, or who's the big dogs out there?
Up this way is in Colorado. You got Bushmasters. He's
Colorado Bulldog.
You got, well, of course. I mean, if you want to talk about the West, I don't know. The West, we kind of lump ourselves together because we're so spread out.
The mountains. But
you got Sterling Ball of Big Papa Smokers. You got my guy Jerry. I think I'm going to say this. Jerry Aguilar, if he cooked as much contest as everyone else does, I would guarantee you he would be the guy. He cooks. He did it. What, he was top 5 after cooking 19 contests in the KCBS awards or the year-end awards. He's just really, really good. You got Sterling Smith from Loot and Booty. YSM. You're behind. They do a really good job. Montana Outlaws does a really good job. There's a lot of up and comers here too in this area that I think we're going to be really, really good. So we're far and few between. Like Steve, Simply Marvelous is out here. He does a great job. Stephen Franklin.
Love his rubs.
And there's a lot of good West Coast teams, I would say. But in this region, I would say I would put Bushmasters as the top if I had to guess right now.
I got you. Drew, you travel all over the country, don't you? I mean, are you points chasing, or are you jack chasing? Jack
chasing more than anything. I know I'm limited to 20-25 contests this year. What I'm doing out west, though, too, is we're going to go see some parts of the country we've never seen. We're going to go up to Tetons for a day and go see some of the national parks down there in South Utah as well. So it's kind of a kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We get to get a chance at an auto and the jack, and we get to go see some parts of the country we've never seen before.
You going to Zion down there in Utah?
No, we're going to Canyonlands and Arches. It kind of we got 1 day down in South Utah, and I felt like Zion was I would just be more mad at myself if I only had 1 day there. I feel like that needs to be a longer trip, and we're going to be flying back out of Denver there. So
it's beautiful, man. That's one of the most beautiful areas I've seen, honestly, in this country. But I'll tell you what, the alcohol situation there is interesting.
Really?
Yes. Yep. So Rusty, when you buy the devil's liquid, you have to go to a gift shop behind the curtains. To get
Mormon thing, or
well, how it works is we used to have 3.2% beer, and they've changed that recently, so you can actually get drunk off a few beers instead of 45. But yeah, you can't buy hard alcohol and wine in stores. You have to go to a specialized state-run liquor store to get things. So yeah, be careful with that. Also, I want to mention Crooked Pigs, probably one of the best competition teams around, and they might be where you're at. So, but yeah, I think Utah, as far as the liquor laws, it's kind of funky. We have what's called the Zion curtain, and some of the restaurants cannot display liquor outside. They have to hide it behind a wall, so the kids can't see. Because what happens. We all started drinking heavily around 8, and the reason why is because we saw alcohol at the TGI Fridays. That's how I started drinking. I went to the TGI Fridays, like, Mom, what's that? And she goes, Jack Daniels. The next day, I was asking for change on the freeway, and it was awful, man. I was just pissing myself.
You saw a beer ad like Bud Light. Like, what is Bud Light, Mom?
Yeah, what's Bud Light? This is great.
I
what liquor?
I don't want Frosted Flakes. I want Jack Daniels. That's why Utah's awesome.
But that's a real thing. So yeah, it's kind of weird here. They're trying to change it. It's becoming more, non-Mormon, I would say. I think the Mormons are becoming the minority, and things are starting to change. But it's hard, man. It's still hard to get things law. I don't drink, so I don't care. But as long as they don't mess with my V8, we're all right.
Yeah, what is like an iron curtain for V8 juice? No Virgin Bloody Marys for you,
bro.
Only behind the great powerful eyes.
I'll be storming the Capitol. Take away my V8. What the hell's the problem?
All right, man. Drew, back to barbecue. We all know your success stories in barbecue, and like I said, I think you're in 30. You have 30 plus GCs, I believe.
I think I'm just shy of that. I'm 28, 29, somewhere like that.
Oh, I mean, decent. I mean, you're decent.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of success stories. Do you have any funny failure stories that's happened?
Definitely plenty. I've missed a turn in. I've guess I've never been DQ'd, but probably my greatest failure, I still remember, was a small contest here in the Boot Hill, Missouri. Had some friends out there with us, and pork turn-in's the most complicated, the longest process for pretty much everybody.
Yes, it is.
Time was ticking by, and our team, or the people I had out there with me, they just kept socializing, yapping. I need my cooking partner. I need my wife to help me finish the pork box. And I kind of lost my cool probably with a couple minutes left. And we got stuff turned in, but I showed a worser side of myself and embarrassed myself. And ever since then, I had to remind myself that this is a hobby. This is for fun. And ever since then, I've had a much better demeanor about it. And I think, too, that's actually helped me cook a lot better, too. Winning is so important. We all want to win. No one really wants to win more than I do, but I can also handle the losses. I learned from that of knowing what's most important. That's making sure my friends and my family and my wife's happy.
Especially the wife.
Yes. Especially the wife. She's put up with a lot over the years. She went to the Jack with me at 37 weeks pregnant. She let me go cook a contest like a week before our due date. She's been a trooper. She flew in the year she was pregnant to Chicago and slept in my truck overnight at a double. And
at Chicago, did you get robbed?
Yeah, no, we were outside. We were in Belvedere, but just outside of Chicago. But I can remember I was picking her up at 11 o'clock at night or something. And all I'm thinking is like, if I'm going to drive there and drive back, do you really need a hotel room for this night, or can we just get one for night 2? And she toughed it out for me. So
that's a good woman.
Great.
If I said, can you really tough it out? Yeah. Justin, what would your wife say?
I would be home.
That's it. The rest of you probably like mine. Like my wife's like, yeah, I'm roughing it in the hotel. Not a motel, in a hotel.
Yeah.
My wife wouldn't be out there, man. She came out to one contest. I made her do boxes. She was in a minivan. I opened the window, asked how she's doing. It was like open a wasp nest, and that was it, man. No moss wife at contests.
My wife, like I said, man, I literally had to, shimmy, make sure everything's perfect for my roll up. She rolls it out there sometimes, but
see, the first mistake y'all made was getting a trailer. Like you can't pamper them too early. You gotta do those nicer things later on. Like I'm still in the canopy stage of my career. I have no trailer, so my wife's only known that.
That's by choice. I mean, all the grand championship checks you got, you can cash some bad boys in and get you a big old trailer. You'll be like you'll be Heath Riles in no time, man. They're like, I have a trailer just for this area of the country and a trailer for this area of the country.
Yeah,
dude, that's the thing. They rent I think Brad was telling me he has a storage unit in Vegas.
Yep.
and they have stuff down there in case they need to go on the West Coast somewhere and stuff like that. That's the way to go. You know,
I think they've got some storage units different places in the country too. I think they may have some down in Florida and yeah, because that was the first call I made was to him, and he told me they had them down, I think, in Reno, and that was a little too far of a drive.
I want to rent a cooler space in California and start selling Prairie Fresh ribs out there, because I mean that would be lucrative.
Is that a hot commodity out there?
They have I don't know, Rusty. You probably know more than I heard that they had the dumbest pork laws of all time. Like, you can't, unless the pork is raised in a certain amount of acreages or anything like that.
Yeah, I've heard Compart has been an issue out there. I hadn't heard Prairie Fresh's name. But yeah, there's certain.
You can't get a Compart out there. You have to get that one shipped in. Prairie Fresh is a little bit more. It's better now than it used to be. It's easier to get.
Oh, is it?
The primes and stuff. Yeah, out here we're like Prairie Fresh. What's that? And now it's more prevalent here.
So what do people run in the West Coast? Like, what are the major brands? Like here at Springer Mountain and Smart Chicken. What is it in West Coast, Rusty?
I think most of us grew up doing the extra tenders from Smithfield. I think a lot of us did that. That was kind of our gig for a long time, because that was kind of all we really had to work with. I know a lot of people did well with the Costco brisket, the Costco ribs and things like that. But Tyson chicken was a big one out here, and then Smart Chicken. So, and then now I think everyone's trying. I think since Prairie Fresh came out with their primes, and they're kind of more easier to get, I think that's what everyone's switching to now. Here, I see a lot of prime pork butts, a lot of prime ribs. So, I think that's what everyone's kind of doing now.
I guess. Justin, did y'all used to run ETs, or have y'all always ran Prairie Fresh?
No, we used to run Allegiance, and then those things got just incredibly hard to cook. It didn't matter. We could take them to 215; they still chewed like a pork chop. So then we toyed around with the prime.
I put the cooks there.
And then after we toyed around with the primes, we just been cooking naturals ever since.
You're like me. I can't afford the primes. I got to go for the bargain barrel ones. I'm trying to rack up on anything. If I see like a good deal, I'll clean out the whole cooler.
Yeah.
What do you run, Drew? Like, what are brands that you like to rock?
So, pork wise, it's Prairie Fresh. I'll buy pork butts in bulk to start the year. I've got a restaurant here that allows me to use their freezer space. But when it comes to ribs, man, I'm 95% of the time I'm buying all naturals at the local grocery store, and I'm hopping in there 2 or 3 times a week. And when I see a good rack, I buy it and put it in the freezer. So I probably got 30 racks in my freezer right now. Yeah. It could be New Year's Eve, and I need to grab a gift for my wife, and if I'm close to a grocery store, I'm going to stop in there and check.
It's the first thing I do, man. I hit up a Walmart. I'm like, boom, ribs. Yep. I'm like sitting there taking them all apart.
Yeah, and see, like I'm in Tyson country, being in Arkansas, so all our Walmarts, all they have is Tyson. So I've got to go to these lesser known, smaller chain stores to find Prairie Fresh.
Yeah, we do
Piggly Wigglies.
Yeah. We do the Chairman Reserves on the food truck, and I love those. I think they're great. I haven't tried them for comps yet, but I want to. We get some good ones coming in too.
And aren't they out of like Virginia Chairman Reserve or
Tyson?
Okay, they're Tyson. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Rusty, you should like, you have a restaurant now, man. I would totally be like, just stockpiling some that rack's not getting sold to the public.
And that's funny because when I talked to Brad Leinegar, that's what he would do. He'd have his restaurant, and he'd have his little Prairie Freshes come in, and he would just like, not that one. And I would think, how cool is that you can do that? You have that opportunity to see so much meat that you can just go, dude, and pull that one. And here I am not doing that. I need to have like Drew, like 30 in my freezer, because I have a restaurant space. Well, a commissary space, and we got freezers. We got a lot of room, and I could just be stocked. Yeah. Man, what am I doing? I suck. I deserve not to do contests. That's I have all this great food coming in. I'm just not saving it. I could just be at the commissary, trimming it up, vacuum seal it, throw it in the back, and just when I have a contest, pew,
That's what I
guess he could be doing. He could be saving those and sell them for a pretty penny.
I should trim them. That's what I should do, is take the nice ones, trim them up comp style, vac seal them, go $75 a rack.
Yep.
Hey, You get some money. I mean, if we joke, but somebody buy them.
Like if you got a good reputation and you're only sending out, A+ proteins, there's people out there that would buy that.
I know, man. I know I would. I would absolutely wait. I don't have to trim it, and it's good, and you've done it. Cool, man. Send it.
That's like Aaron out there and Mr. Brisket. Like whenever he started doing that out there, I was like, man, that's a genius idea. Especially when you start doing trim thighs. I'm like, oh, you're taking the biggest pain in the ass and taking it away from people.
Oh, I love trimming thighs though. Oof, I love it.
You love trimming thighs?
Yep, I love it. I legit, it's my favorite part.
You're a monster. Who are you?
Briskets.
It's like therapy.
Yeah,
therapy. Soulless creatures.
You create a beautiful little thing. You're like, look what I've done, and it's like a satisfactory every single time. You're like, oh wow, look at that one. That one's great.
Yeah, I hear you. It's like your child, but then you enter your child to the beauty pageant, and then the judges are like, no, they're hideous. That's honey poo poo. That's no bueno, man. But no, man. So all right. So how long? You cooked a long time. How long did it take you to start seeing some pretty regular success? Did you always cook pro? Did you go to backyard route?
So here in Arkansas, backyard wasn't a viable option. Like even now, there's not really any backyard contests that are sanctioned. At least you got to get more in the Alabama area, the Tennessee area to get into those. So I jumped into master, and I was starting off, I was just happy to get a call or two, and then I don't think we popped our first GC until 2016, and that was after taking our first class from Rod Gray with Pellet NB, who's now the CEO of KCBS. And then ever since then, I look at those things as an investment. They're expensive, but they pay for themselves, and I've taken a class pretty much every year since then. And I've never learned as much as that first class. First class you take.
I've reached out to Rod and said, "Hey, man, where are you going to be? What are you doing? I will fly to you. What can I do?"
Yeah.
This Rusty, like, is that how you took? Did you take Rod's or you took Brad's? Didn't you? Wasn't that your first class?
Brad, Tim, Sterling's, Dave Boschke's. Yeah, I've taken. I'm the same as Drew. I would take one or two a year, and I'll still do that down there. You just always want to be learning something.
Right.
It's all I learn something great every single time. Like Barbecue Champs Academy. I mean, I own I don't own all of them, but I own a lot. And I still watch them from time to time. And when I get back into this, I will be taking classes, and I fly out of Kansas City. I'll go everywhere I need to go. I think it's such a good investment if you want to pursue this, seriously.
Yeah, because you're looking at, $700 to whatever price. It's like cooking 10 contests. You learn so much in that one setting, and go find someone that you trust and that you know's had success in the area that you're cooking, and try to learn from them. Like the learning curve will be so much faster that way.
So that's a good segue into another question I wanted to ask you, Drew. You teamed up with a good buddy of mine, Paul, there at Rooters and Tutors, and y'all had that kick-ass class in Lebanon this previous year, man. And I heard nothing but I have quite a few friends that took that class. I unfortunately didn't get to, but how was it you going? Was that your first class teaching, or have you taught classes in the past?
No, I've taught 4 or 5 in the past. I've done one solo one myself, and then I teamed up with Steve Hayden for a couple classes, and I taught one with Chris Schaefer as well back kind of in our early years. And then I asked Paul last year. He kind of,
because he don't do many classes. He won't do it. Like Paul's a real humble guy, man. He don't do it. Whenever I heard you got Paul to teach a class, I'm like, crap. Yeah. Look at my calendar.
Yeah, exactly. And I would be lying if I said that wasn't a reason that I sought after. Not only do I respect him,
I only get kind of like a free half class here.
Yeah. I mean, he was only Pork Team of the Year, almost I think 2 years in the last 3, and he asked what I wanted him to cook. I'm like, well, I'll cook ribs and brisket. I'll let you.
You cook your chicken and pork.
Exactly.
Yeah. Dude, Paul's so I took my first class I took the Atlanta barbecue supplies class, and Paul taught chicken, and that to this day has changed my chicken game tremendously. Just trying he's humble about it. Said, yeah, you just do. I mean, we all know Lynn does most of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, Paul gets all the glory, but no, I mean their chicken game and pork game's out of this world.
And you know with them that you're getting the 100% truth. Like that's
they're so humble, so nice. I mean, I trust them. Like they're like sometimes you go to classes and you really wonder if that's really their, their tell all. If that's really their recipe they're running now,
right?
Not 4 years ago. Because I mean, you've cooked long enough. Rusty, I'm sure you too, and Justin. That the barbecue taste buds for these judges like change over the years. Like, are you constantly upgrading your recipes? Like how often do you tweak your recipes per year?
Hard to say how often, but I'm going to give it at least a 10 contest sample before I make a drastic change. I've switched injections with pork this year. I've made very, very subtle changes, not trying to reinvent the wheel, but if I find something that I'm going to practice on at home, and if I like it, and if I'm struggling in that category, then I'm gonna give it a shot. I may give it 2 contests. If it don't work, I'll go right back to what I was doing.
I got you.
Yeah, it's like when you listen to Darren War's podcast, and you think, okay, well, I'm changing with the times. I'm taking all these classes, and I'm going to add this, and then Darren War's like, yeah, I'm just winning here using simmering docks and smoking guns hot.
Exactly.
You're like, that's it? He's like, yep, that's all I use. I'm like, all right.
It's still 80% tenderness, but the game is harder now. Like there's more good cooks now, and we're more consolidated with the lack of the amount of contests that there were prior to 2020. So what Darren Worth's saying, you're going to be in the ballpark, but you still got to find whatever edge you possibly can.
Yeah,
yep.
Especially
you can't go too crazy because that'll take you out of the running real quick.
I mean, do you feel like what is it in the competition that, I mean, obviously tenderness, we all know that, but I always said Tim Shear's the greatest finisher in barbecue. Like he could take mediocre meat and then finish it, and it turns out to be winning meat. Like, do you feel like in a pros versus something like backyard setting, like the last 15 minutes is where it kind of differentiates the two? Because I mean, both backyard now and pro, I mean, you can all cook proteins,
right?
Like everyone
can get, if it's a 100 meter sprint, everyone can get to 90 meters, but that last 10 is the hardest, trying to make it as perfect as you can. From Cambro management to finishing dust to totally needing to spice things up or sweeten things up or balance something, that's where the best shine. And you mentioned the best in the game's Tim Shear at that. I don't think anyone would claim to be better than him at that aspect.
No, I mean, it's just, that's what I feel like. It's like the last 5 minutes where I freak out more than anything. The rest of the time, you can ask Justin. I'm out there BSing with everybody and trying to mess with getting Justin's head. Like that's one of my favorite things to do in the world is mess with this redheaded bastard right here. But no, man, I the last 5-10 minutes is where I like freak out the most. I'm like, all right, what does it need? What's this? What's going on? Because I'm always second guessing. I always like everyone. I don't know if you ever watched that TV show, The League, but I always try to Ruxin myself. I'm always talking myself out of good, good boxes, and that's I feel like just keep it simple and change up your recipes. And I will tell you one thing I have changed up on my recipe because my chicken program I've been running last couple of years have been hitting pretty good. I've been flirting with the top. I feel like me and you had the same issue for a while. You're running those thirds, but never the top twos. But I tell you what, I switched and I'm using some of these products right here.
Some great products.
Yeah, they're okay. I mean, I mean, they do the job, I guess.
They'll get you there. Yeah,
they'll get you in the ballpark. But hey, let's talk about your rubs. So how long have these been on the market? So if y'all don't know, Drew Davis, Razorracks. He is the mastermind behind all day rubs. And you just had the 2, correct?
Yeah, just got the 2 for now. I've got one other rub that's probably going to come out towards the end of the year. I've got to get a label made for it. It's more of just an SPG rub that it's something I use at home more than anything, but it's a part of my brisket recipe as well. But the AP, the black bottle, I came out with it probably 3 years ago, and I was wanting to create something similar to what I'd been using on brisket, and I created that and ran it. It's kind of a base layer for pretty much ribs, pork, and brisket. And then was struggling in ribs a couple years ago and just decided I need to just tour around and see if I could come up with something. Came up with that sweet rub. Ran it first contest, got a top 5 call, and been using it ever since. And a lot of teams across, especially the Mid-South, have been using it with a lot of success.
I got you. So how similar is your all day versus your all day sweet?
I'd say they're vastly different. That all day AP is very salt forward.
Yes.
And peppery. Yep. Like I don't recommend that for chicken or for competition chicken, like in backyard chicken or chicken halves. It'll still taste pretty good. But that sweet has a lot of sugar, a lot of turbinado sugar, a little bit of cinnamon. It's a lot more complex flavor profile.
How long did it take you to like develop those? Like, is there a lot of R&D and like a lot of, because I mean that's something in like I'll never make money on it, but I want just to have my own rub at some point in my life.
So
how long did that take you to do the R&D on those?
Yeah, so the first one, I basically took the 2 competition rubs I was using to a supplier here, a co-packer that's about 45 minutes from my house, and they helped me get close to it. And then they gave me a couple different batches, and then I started tweaking those batches. So that part didn't really take too long. It probably took about a month for me to get something that I was happy with. And the sweet, though, that was something that took a whole off season and part of the spring. I basically at that point just went to them and say, hey, I need a pound of this, a pound of this, a pound of this. And I came home with a couple boxes of all different ingredients, and I started tinkering, trying to get the salt level content that I wanted, and then taking it from there. And I knew with that one, I didn't want to be too salt heavy. So when I got that level, I just started adding sweetness from every area that I could.
I got you. I'll tell you, man, they're both fantastic. Especially, I mean, between the 2, personally, my favorite's the sweet.
Yeah.
But
I find the more backyard cooks like the AP better, but competition cooks, the sweet's definitely been the better seller of the 2 here in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, they're both fantastic, but decidedly a little more towards the sweet, which
right.
Yeah. And, but Rusty, you have your own rub that you use on your proteins on the food truck.
Yeah, I make my own rubs and sauces. Yeah, for sure. I want to get them co-packed, but like Drew was saying, it was hard, because I got my my AP rub back, and it was better than I make it. I'm like, this is great. And then I got everything else. I'm like, this is awful. So it was weird. So I'm like, it's kind of a jug. It's kind of a, so I kind of wanted to wait and just, I want to release those 2, but more on a commercial level, not for competition. Cause I've never used my rubs in competition before. So maybe I should start. Who knows?
You should, man. I mean, Drew, the first time, is that kind of how you R&D'd it? You use it in your own comps?
Yeah. So
I want to ride or die my own stuff.
Yeah, the AP, I probably ran it for more than a year before I bottled it. And there was even a time where I remember getting a batch from the co-packer, and just something was off on it. And I remember taking it back and having them look at it, and they kind of acknowledged, hey, yeah, something's wrong, and they went back and made it again, and it was how it was. So I was a little paranoid to start bottling it and selling it for that reason, but I haven't had any issues since then. And then the sweet, I ran it for 3/4 of a year before I bottled it. I wanted to be sure I can say that, hey, I've won with it. It's been successful. I don't want to just throw a rub out there and expect people to use it if I'm not willing to use it too.
Right. So do you think like that's the most natural progression, like starting off with a rub and then progressing to a sauce? Or like what do you guys feel like people like start off with more of a sauce first and then a rub, or which one? Like, speaking of which, do you have any sauces in your future?
No sauces. I toyed around with that in my early years, but that's a different game. Not ready for that. Maybe one day, but right now it's just the seasonings. Like I don't even have the spare time to do most of my shipping, so I'm basically wholesaling to different people to do all the selling for me. So right. I just ain't got the time to mess around with the sauce, and there's too many good sauces out there right now.
I got you. Well, speaking of where you can buy it, your rub, new store it came on the line is Brothers Q Barbecue Supply. So man, if you ever want to check out all day rubs from Mr. Drew Davis and check out this deliciousness, make sure you check out Brothers Q Barbecue Supply. Big sponsor of the show, and we love them. Sorry, had to plug them in. Rusty, so like I was curious because like Drew, like Rusty, you made the jump. Like we have a passion for barbecue, just like all the rest of us do. But you actually have made the leap into taking, your passion, your hobby, into making it into a job. Drew, have you ever had those aspirations? I mean, I think all of us would be lying if we never thought, I want to do this for a living.
Right. Yeah. Think about it. Probably 4 out of 5 days a week. I like my job. I'd be lying if I said I loved my job, but I do enjoy it. I don't regret, or it's not hard getting me to go to work every day. But what Rusty's doing is the dream. Then there's also a fear, like, yeah, if I did do that, like in a year or two, would I still like it as much? So that I've never made the leap. Don't think I'm going to make the leap anytime soon. But yeah, I'm envious of you from a day-to-day standpoint, Rusty.
That's still cool, man. You don't get sick of it. Like today we were making, we don't usually do chicken, so we're always playing around with it, and we're just cooking chicken. I'm like, dude, I'm just today, this huge caterer, it was stressful as hell. And I'm like, I'm cooking barbecue for a living. Like, this is great.
And they're going to love it. I mean,
and then the people every day kind of keep you going, like, oh, this is the best. And And it's just as hard as it gets, if you love what you do, that's what makes it bearable. And then there's just moments that happen all the time where you're just like, dude, I'm doing it, man. That's cool. And you never lose that. And I think that's what's really, I think people think, well, it get old, and it hasn't yet. It hasn't got old yet.
Yeah, I mean, Rusty's out there killing it in Utah land. I mean, Drew down here. Is there a lot of competition up in Utah for barbecue? I mean, I definitely in the South, like where Drew is and where we are. I mean, barbecue's life. But I mean, Rusty's bringing like quality barbecue to the land of Dune up there in the Utah.
The contest here, there's a contest in Utah that's left, so that's where we're at.
Fair enough. Yeah, you are
in Colorado and Arizona and California is where we have to go. Montana too. Montana has some great contests. So
I got you. Well, man, how is the barbecue scene down your way, man? You got some good restaurants around your way, Drew, or are you like me, can't hardly eat at barbecue restaurants?
Yeah, like it's got to be a special restaurant. Like there's a couple. Brad's Getting Basted's one that I'll stop at. Melissa Cookston's in South Haven. That's another one I'll stop at. But outside of those two, I think Porky Butt's up in Nebraska, in Omaha. That's one that if I'm within an hour, I'm going to stop at and eat. But outside of that, if a friend asks, hey, you want to go eat barbecue, I kind of just grit my teeth, smile, and said, okay, sure, I'll go. And I'll get sausage or turkey, or I'll get, definitely not ribs, pork, or brisket for sure.
That's like me. Like if I go to a barbecue restaurant, I'm gonna get. They make homemade sausage, big plus for me.
Yeah.
And turkey, huge plus. Hey, Justin, where do we go? White sauce. Big Bob Gibson's, right? Yeah, man. We went to Big Bob Gibson's down in Alabama comp, and I want to try Alabama white sauce. I mean, when in Rome, right?
Yeah.
And all the locals were like, oh, don't go there. It's not good. Man, that stuff was good. It was the turkey was phenomenal. The hot wings, like I want like the one-off stuff when it comes to barbecue. I can't tell you the last time I had a pulled pork sandwich. It's like Rusty, I know like we hate barbecue because we cook it all the time. Rusty, I know like you just can't stand the stuff.
That's not true, man. I'm an anomaly. I have to be. Like for me, I'll like ribs. I don't think I'll ever get sick of ribs. Even like overcooked burnt ribs are still good jerky to me. And this is something I've said before, and I get roasted all the time. But man, I'll even get that shit from Lloyd's, from Walmart, and just stick it in my oven. I got some controversial takes.
That hurts my soul.
Oh man, it's not the best. I mean, I'm not, but it's ribs. Ribs are the greatest food ever made, and I will never tire of them ever.
They're my favorite to cook by far. Drew, how do you like if you're cooking ribs at home for you and your friends? How are you cooking your ribs? Are you saucing it? You doing dry rub? Like, what are you using?
I'm probably saucing it. I'm probably keeping it pretty simple. Just cooking the color and then wrapping with some kind of butter or parquet. And I'm not going full competition style.
No,
but I'm going to put some sauce on there, like Memphis dry rub. It's okay. But
what sauce we using at home? Like, what's your go-to at home barbecue sauce?
Probably Craig's.
Solid stuff.
Yeah.
I I like the Tennessee Red. I put that stuff on everything.
Yeah, that's the one. Like I'll take a bottle to work and it'll be in our fridge just for whatever reason. And people, when they try it, they're shocked because it comes out, it's all vinegary and that's not the Southern style around here. But when they try it, they absolutely love it. They're like, "Oh, where'd you get this?" Well, now it's available.
That's crazy. I just saw that. I was so happy to see that. That's so great.
Yeah.
Their shelving though, like it ruins my OCDness. Like their whole barbecue section is like somebody just goes, "Screw this job here." There it is. All right, good luck. Like because I had to like dig behind the Sweet Baby Raids and all that. The McCormick's crap to get like the
Wickers,
Malcolm Reeds and the Heaths and all that stuff. Like I'm like, oh, there's that. Like that should be up front, like primo real estate.
Yeah,
but they're just so OCD about it. But
yeah,
no, man. So one more question, like I went to you. So you've been doing competition barbecue, and we all have people that we look up to a lot. Who is on your meat Rushmore?
Oh, okay. Like people I look up to. One, I have to
in the barbecue world. Who is the guys that you're like, they're above me?
Okay, so one, I had to be one of my sponsors, Eric Lee with Fire Dancer Barbecue. He's been with me from the beginning. He's kind of took me under his wing and showed me the ropes. But when I look at like the greatest, I'm probably putting up there, and this may be due to past success or just how they handle it. But Donnie Teal in Oklahoma. Kelly Wirtz out of Kansas, and probably Steve Hayden out of Illinois. Like those are people. They're not cooking as much anymore, but they've won big. They've won the right way. They've handled themselves well, and they grinded it out for a long time. And I respect the hell out of all of them.
I got you, man. Well, good deal. Well, that lets us know that it's time for the Brothers Q Barbecue Supply Lightning Round, brought to you by Brothers Q Barbecue Supply. Check out Brothers Q Barbecue Supply for all your barbecue needs. That is a tongue twister.
Major tongue twister.
Oof. Man, I'm proud of myself. Justin, quit dropping stuff. All right, man. I want to let Justin take it away, man. Drew, we got some quick hitters. Don't think too hard about it. And Justin, roll.
What's your favorite thing to cook at home?
Oh, chicken wings.
Beach or mountain vacation?
Right now in this state of life is going to be mountain.
Okay. What's one thing you always have to have and you can't say thermopan?
In your trailer when you cook.
Yeah.
Cotton gloves and natural gloves.
Okay.
Very true.
What would be your walk-up song at awards?
Oh, I've had a couple. Probably. Man, that's hard. You did Ed Lebanon earlier this year. I'm So Humble by Lonely Island Band. If you haven't heard of it, go look it up.
Everybody knows Lonely Island Band.
Yeah.
Of all your rubs, which one's your favorite?
The sweet.
Are you a bigger fan of Arkansas football or basketball?
Basketball. We actually win at that. And we got a good new coach, if you haven't heard.
Ooh, sucks for you.
What's your favorite barbecue restaurant?
Porky Butts in Omaha, Nebraska.
Porky Butts. All right, man. Well, Drew, I'm definitely going to be Facebook message you during basketball season, especially around the time that we beat y'all with our makeshift team that we put together.
The Arkansas Wild Hogs and
the Arkansas Wild.
And I've heard a couple different puns on that, and they all crack me up.
You know what's hilarious? I was the biggest John Calipari fan. He took us from junk to relevant, and like whenever I saw his buyout, like there's no way we're getting rid of him. And I finally got to a point where I'm like, all right, this is ridiculous. Like you look at like all the NBA All Stars that he's had on his team, he's only won one championship. I'm like, all right, this may be time to move on.
Yeah,
but no, it was weird to say him say, all right, well, deuces.
Yeah, I was so shocked. Even a week later, like I thought when we lost Musselman that we were gonna wind up with some chump and
well, y'all had like it was UAB's coach was gonna be like I think he was the headliner.
I think Kansas State's.
Yeah.
Remember his name.
I mean, y'all are working your way down the call list at the bar. Like you were getting pretty close to that random girl in the corner.
I didn't think we had a chance, and then finally Tyson and
your billionaires said, "Hold my beer." Yeah, they open up that ginormous checkbook. I think like their average checkbook is those giant checks. Like when you get billionaire status, I think that's what the bank hands out. Just like I write checks and I need a marker. But no, man, Drew, hey, thank you so much for coming on our show, man. You were awesome. It's always great to have a world champion in the house. I know you got to let that soak in, man. World champion Drew Davis.
Well, I appreciate that, man.
Absolutely. Hey, this is the time of show where I want you to give a shout out to your sponsors and where people can find you and all that good jazz.
Yep. So first and foremost, Eric Lee with Fire Dancer Barbecue. Check out his line of rubs. He's out here in Central Arkansas. Rural Oak, best charcoal on the market, best bang for your buck, and it's American made. And then Blues Hog sauces and rubs as well from aforementioned Tim Shear out of Missouri.
And where can they find Razorracks on social?
Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. We're not the most active, but we try to be pretty active on Facebook for sure.
I got you. I got to get better at that too. That's something I'm going to have to work in my repertoire. But all right, man, Drew, I will hopefully see you out on the trail, and I hope Rusty takes care of you here coming up next week. I know he will.
Sure he will.
He's a man, myth, and a legend. But all right, man, thank you so much for coming on, and I appreciate it, buddy.
All right, thanks, Logan. Thanks, guys.
See you, buddy. Well, that is. Oh God, no. That is it. That is the show. That was fun. Good talking to Drew. A nice guy, man. Just killing it. He's so humble, man. He's literally like Rolls. He's Larry. He's the Larry Bird of barbecue. He's like he has to like figure out a way to tie his arm behind his back to give everybody else a chance.
Yeah, I mean, once that dude started hitting, according, he just hit. He just never kind of not hit every single year. So to even have half his success would be pretty damn cool.
I mean, yeah, I'll pick up the Stradlers there. I mean, I wish like I ran out of room in my trophy room.
I know. Yeah, I know. That's great. I mean, he's like what 175, 173 average for all of his, out for the year. And that's pretty damn good. So consistent, and it's pretty awesome.
173. I mean, that's probably like a bad day for him.
I know, right? Like, damn.
Anyways, man. Well, that's our show, Rusty. Man, I appreciate you coming on. And Justin, man, it's been too long, my friend.
Yeah,
we gotta get that beautiful ginger face on here more often, man.
Oh yeah, looking forward to being a more regular participant.
Yeah, man. I hope all of us are more regulars on here. It's a good time and always a good show. But all right, man. Before we sign off, Rusty, you want to tell everybody where they can find you?
Yeah, you can follow me at Salt City Barbecue. You got to spell out barbecue with a C. And if you're in the food truck business, go to On the Road to Food Truck podcast. I will be releasing new episodes, hopefully in the next week or two. And then we won't hopefully not have a big gap in between where I'm getting my literal ass kicked every day. So that's my thing.
Absolutely. I don't even want a food truck, and I love listening to his show. So, man, definitely check Rusty out. Hopefully, we can twist his arm a little bit and get this man back on the show some more, doing some guest hosting spots. But, Justin, everybody can find you at suckitnorala.com, right?
No, actually, it's a Suck It Small Bag.
What? I'm sorry. What? All right, man. Well, that's our show, guys. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. And as always, when it comes to barbecue, make sure you're always right on cue. See you.